Okay, I got one for you. A man drives up to the White House. He parks on Pennsylvania Avenue. And then he gets out of his car and he climbs over the fence. And then, I guess he runs across the lawn. I don't think he would have been walking. Otherwise, he probably would have been caught. You know what I'm saying? Then he walks up to the stairs, all the way to the door. And then get this. He doesn't even have to break down the door because it's unlocked. And so he walks in. Has weapons on him. At least one, a knife. And turns out this guy who was able to get into the White House, being the first person ever, has a mental condition. He's crazy. If I'm taking a long time to get to the punchline, that's because there isn't one. 2 months ago, he was stopped. They know he's crazy too, and they found on him a map with the White House circled on it. Yeah. And they let him go. They let him get into the White House. Oh! Best security in the world being duped by one crazy lone nut. That reminds me of an ocean tale I once heard. You know that time where they killed Osama bin Laden? U.S. military. None of them were shot or injured. You want to see the body? Well, we can't show that to you because it's at the bottom of the ocean. Oh! Speaking of missing at sea, remember that huge airliner that disappeared off the face of the earth? And then, yeah, you remember that, eh? It disappeared off of the news too, and off of everybody's mind. Biggest airliner ever made, filled with people with cell phones, disappears completely in this age where everything is tracked with higher technology than they tell us about. And of course, some experts say that when a plane crashes, it breaks up into about 1 million pieces. A lot of those pieces float. So they would be picked up eventually by a whole bunch of satellites. But hey, we're not really supposed to be talking about this anymore because we're talking about that crazy guy who snuck into the White House.
Just shut up.
And a few months after that plane disappeared into the to another dimension, yeah, that's one theory. Well, there was another plane that crashed in the Ukraine. So they say on the news that this airliner was shot down because it was flying over a war zone. Ukraine, Crimea, having a war. And this pilot, yeah, of course, with the okay of air traffic controllers, and flew into a war zone. And that's why they had to shoot it down. You want to see the bodies? Well, here's a picture, but we can't actually send you the bodies. We're not going to do that, because if they do an autopsy, they might find out that these bodies aren't as fresh as they're supposed to be. Whoa!
Closes security holes in common software like Java and Flash. Stop wasting your time on a placebo that only makes you feel secure. PCmatic.com.
Here's the latest news on the missing plane, Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. There is no news on the missing plane today.